Hey everyone, this is a pretty laid-back storytime video, basically just talking about a big award that I won last year for one of my short films, what that experience was like, and then what I learned from making the actual short film. There is a lot to cover, but I think it's a story worth documenting, even if it's mostly for myself at this point. But yeah, if you're interested, sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. Just under a year ago, in October of 2019, I came up with a sci-fi themed story idea about what would happen if scientists succeeded in mapping the human brain. Now, this is an actual thing that's been in the works for a number of years. I know that scientists have managed to map the entirety of a fruit fly brain, I think, but the human brain is obviously a lot more complex than a fly brain. And as such, mapping every neuron in the human brain is a much more complicated project that is going to take a very long time with our current technology. That is enormously oversimplified, and I'll have a more detailed video on the subject linked in the description down below, but hopefully you get the basic concept, and that is where my story idea came from. My thought was, what if the inevitable digital file of the brain was actually conscious? Because in a way, you've basically replicated the entire brain, just digitally. That is enormously dumb, I know, but I thought it was kind of funny, and suddenly I realized, hey, I could make a short film out of this. So over the course of about 2 weeks, I threw together a script, I filmed it by myself with my little brother playing a supporting role, I edited it, and then I published it on my YouTube channel as the short film Project Brain. The full acronym being Boys Researching and Imaging Neurons, not to leave girls out or anything, just because it was me and my brother in the film. But anyway, you may or may not have seen it, it's fine either way. Now, even calling it a short film is a bit of a stretch, in my opinion. It's really just an overglorified skit that I put way too much effort into. But regardless, it effectively explored my idea, and it was a lot of fun to make. But I wasn't done with it yet. So now I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent, and I'm going to talk about something called the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards. It's one of the biggest awards programs for teen writers and artists in the United States. People like Stephen King and Andy Warhol won awards from them as teens. There are a lot of different categories, from plays to poetry to pottery to paintings to film and animation, which is obviously my specific area of interest. They have a bunch of competitions in various regions across the United States, and the top winners from the regional competitions go on to the national competition, which is in New York City. The winners of the national competition are recognized in an award ceremony that typically features celebrity speakers, and then they get a big shiny medal, maybe some small scholarships, and presumably they go home happy. It's really a great opportunity, and I'm sure you can guess where this is going based on the title of the video, but last year I was a national winner and I won a gold medal, which is pretty much their top award, and yes, I did win it specifically for Project Brain. My name is Anthony Koonce. Unfortunately, due to the fact that New York City was literally the epicenter of a global pandemic, there was no in-person award ceremony this year, and I was kind of bummed about that because I've never been to New York City and I really wanted to go. But they did manage to put together a nice digital ceremony with guest speakers like the actress who played Wonder Woman, which was really cool. Hold up. And here is my medal for proof. I also have the 2020 yearbook for art, and it basically just includes all of the national winners' names and some of the winning artwork. So yeah, that's really cool and all, but you might be wondering, why am I making this video? Well, a couple of reasons. First of all, Scholastic Art and Writing is a genuinely great opportunity if you're in high school and you like to create things. Quick disclaimer that I'm not affiliated with them in any way, and they didn't ask me to make this video or anything like that. I really just want to make you aware of this opportunity if you're part of the right age group, or even if you're not in high school but you happen to know any high schoolers who might be interested, let them know. See if there's a competition in your region, submit your best art or writing, and see what happens. Obviously, I can't guarantee anything, but assuming that you're dedicated to your work and reasonably good at it, I do think it's pretty likely that you'll win something, even if it's not at the national level. I have several friends who have won awards at the regional level, and one of them was actually a national gold medalist alongside me, so yeah, it's definitely a fun thing to do alongside any creative friends that you may have. The second reason I'm making this video is to just document my thought process behind Project Brain, and also talk about what I learned from the experience of making it. Project Brain didn't even get that many views, it's really just another video on my channel, but even so, it was a big success. Of course, looking back on it, I see nothing but flaw after flaw, and I question how I managed to win anything at all, The camera was too static, the lighting and the color grading were really bad, but the fact remains, it somehow won this huge award, so I learned from it, and it did lead to an enormous improvement in my video quality afterwards. I also just want to put it out there that I'm not done with it yet. I think that the story concept has a lot of potential, and I do want to continue developing it, and maybe one day turn it into a proper short film. Now, of course, there is no guarantee that this is going to happen, but I do think that with several more characters, more locations, more story beats, and of course, better special effects, I think that Project Brain could be a legitimately great 10 to 20 minute-ish short film, something similar to the kinds of films that you see on channels like Dust, which are basically just high-quality sci-fi films produced on a smaller budget. Again, there is no guarantee that a Project Brain remake will happen. At this point, it's just an idea. And even if it does happen, that is several years in the future, most likely while I'm in college. But if it does happen, and the film is a success by whatever standards I have at the time, then I can come back to this video and remember where it all started. Alright, I know this video is a lot, and I really appreciate it if you watched it all the way through, thank you very much. I do think that this whole thing was an important step on my filmmaking journey, and I'm looking forward to improving even more, and hopefully one day making this into a career. Submissions for the 2021 Scholastic Art and Writing Awards are currently open, and the link is in the description if you're interested in checking them out. But that's all from me. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.